Hey house guests, welcome to today's bbcan 9 updates and spoilers. Whoop whoop. Our house guests of the day are Kelsey Kane and John Shuan. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, I also want to say happy International Women's Day. Yay! And I also want to shout out some of my fellow women YouTubers who cover Big Brother. These ladies are amazing and they inspire me so much, and I just love the community that we've built together. So of course I want to thank my mom, who's the best. Also Jolene Lunzer, you crack me up so much. Jess from Carter Matt, such a sweetheart. Sarah from Nerdtainment, so much fun. Miranda from Honestly Honecker, so much fun. Ina, you are amazing. Thank you all so much for putting out such wonderful content and just for being such amazing women. Seriously, you guys are awesome. So if you guys are not already watching their videos, you should check them out. Sorry, I had hair on my sweater. You should check them out because we all bring something different to the table and it's a lot of fun. Alright, so when we left off yesterday, there was some talk of a potential vote flip, even though they hadn't even had the power veto ceremony yet. Josh and Kiefer were up on the block. Kiefer won the power of veto. Spoiler alert, he's using it on himself. And Rohan is most likely going up next to Josh. So some of the Sunsetters are starting to feel nervous about that Kyle and Rohan duo. They're potentially a very strong duo. And just to remind you guys, the Sunsetters Alliance, that's Kiefer, Tina, Latoya, Ty, Beth, and Jed. So some of them were wondering, would it be better for us to take out Rohan this week to try and weaken Kyle? Because, like, why should we take out Josh right now when we can get out a bigger fish, you know? Josh doesn't have anybody at this point. So Latoya and Tina are not into this idea. They had already promised Rohan their votes. They don't want to have to go back on that. But Tina especially is, like, not into this. So, and Toya was kind of on the fence about it, but we'll talk more about that. So the feeds were down for a bit yesterday. The house guests finally got the have-not room. I've been waiting for this. I'm so excited about the ball pit. So when the feeds came back, they were all jumping around in there. Victoria was really loving it. She was literally like diving in because the balls are deep, okay? The balls are deep, and I'm talking like hip high. Okay, so that's a lot deeper than I thought it would be. Apparently there's like mirrors on the ceiling. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know if that's cameras or what, or like they got some weird plans for that room. I don't know. But Latoya's reaction to this was killing me. Oh my god. There was this one moment in particular that I'm remembering where the camera person like you see everybody like jumping around and having fun, and then the camera person like zooms in on Latoya's face and she's just sitting there, like she's sitting down on the floor, which means the balls go up to like all around here, and it's just her face and she's just like oh my god, it was so amazing. It was hilarious. So yeah, I don't think there's any have-nots this week. I'm pretty sure all of them are on a diet of slop, peanut butter jelly, and cookies this week. But that's like because of this challenge that they did, I'm pretty sure. It should be on tonight's episode, so we'll finally, hopefully, get some clarity about that. But yeah, I don't think they have any actual have-nots yet, because nobody was like sleeping in that room last night, and they were all like, who's gonna be the first have-nots? I think that's a pretty good indicator that there aren't any yet, so maybe that's not happening until next week. But Josh did take a nap in there, so it is possible to sleep. I don't know if they're just gonna like sleep on the ground under all of the balls. Like that's what Josh did. I feel like it would be gross because it would probably, wouldn't that smell like a lot of plastic? I feel like I would not be down with that smell. Also, I remember in those ball pits, my hair being super staticky, so that would really be annoying. But yeah, I don't know if they're gonna just like lie on the floor under the balls, and also that would freak me out. Like, I mean, there's oxygen in there, but you're not completely cut off, but still, like, I don't like that. I don't know if they're going to try and sleep on top of it, but I guess we'll find out. So, anyway, what else is Josh up to? He was chatting with Tina at one point, and he says he's just kind of laying low right now. You know, he's not going to try to convince Austin to put anyone in particular up next to him on the block. He's also not going to campaign until he knows who he's going to be up against, you know? He's got to be able to... What's the word I'm looking for? My brain is dead. He's got to... I literally can't think of the word. I don't know. He's got to cater his campaigning to whoever's going to be up on the block next to him. So he doesn't want to start too early also because people are going to be all upset about it. These people are killing me with their treatment of Josh. It's very upsetting. But anyway, LaToya and Jed have a game chat in the backyard. They're trying to figure out, should we be getting rid of Josh this week or Rohan? So LaToya says in the end, whatever is decided by the Alliance, I'm going to be good with it. She realizes that it's going to be good for her game either way to get rid of Josh or Rohan, you know? She says it's possible that the best thing for my game would be like for Ro to go this week. So she's not going to be mad about it. The thing is, she doesn't personally want to be one of the ones voting Rohan out because she did already promise him that she would keep him if he's up against Josh. So Jed asks, all right, well, what happens if we really need you to do this? What if we need you to vote Rohan out? And LaToya says, well, in that case, yeah, I would do it, but I would be really honest about it. I would go to Rohan and say, look, I know I promised you my vote, but things have changed, and the best thing for my game would be for you to go. So, just being straight up. So, Toya says she'd probably be Kyle's target after that. But it is what it is, you know, because Kyle and Rohan are super, super tight. But Jed, he's still on the fence. He doesn't know what the best move is for their group yet. And they talk about it a little bit more. Toya says she'd be more comfortable with Ro winning HOH next week than Josh. So that is something to consider. But she's nervous that Kyle would have a lot of influence over Ro. Guys, just wait until you hear Ro's plans. Oh my god. But LaToya reiterates, if the Alliance needs her to vote out Ro, she will do it. Okay, so later, LaToya and Tina are discussing the vote again, and Tina is like kind of pissed at this situation because Tina was not in the initial discussion about possibly flipping the vote here. It was 5 out of 6 of these Sunsetters talking about this. Tina was not there. So apparently, no, we'll get there. So Tina says she feels like she's at the bottom of the 6 right now because she feels like they're trying to tell her how to vote without any discussion about it. Honestly, though, at that point, I feel like there hadn't been that many discussions about it. I had seen more discussions between these two about it than anybody else. So, yeah, but she wasn't there for that initial one, so that was really bugging her. But Tina says, if we're doing this together as a 6, we have to do this together as a 6, you know? She's pissed that she heard about it from Beth. Now, I thought LaToya was the first one to bring this to her, but apparently Beth went to her after this conversation and was like, okay, the vote's flipping, like, this is what we're doing now. We're voting out Rohan. And Tina is not happy to hear about this from Beth, who she describes as a last-minute addition to the Alliance. Oh, damn, Tina! So Tina does not want to vote out Ro this week. She thinks it's an unnecessary risk at this point, and she doesn't want to risk exposing the 6 so early in the game. So LaToya agrees, and she says, my gut is telling me that Josh has to go this week. She feels more comfortable with Kyle and Ro than with Josh being around. So then Tina also discussed the vote flip with Kiefer. We already know how Tina feels about it, right? She's very against it. She wants Josh to go. And Kiefer says he's on the fence at this point. He says Kyle and Ro think that I'm in an alliance with them, so I can work that angle. You know, I can get information from them. Maybe I can influence them somewhat. And Tina says, yeah, they think that I'm in one with them too. Yeah. They agree that that's pretty shady. You know, Kyle and Ro are trying to set up a bunch of stuff with a bunch of people. So Tina says if Josh wins HOH, he's a wild card. You know, nobody knows what he would do. She doesn't feel like Kyle or Ro would try to make a big move at this point. So Kiefer says he's leaning towards Josh going, but Kyle told him that Kyle thinks Toya, Ty, and Jed are working together, which they are, and that makes Kyle want to take them out. So he's kind of nervous that Kyle would try to make a big move, and Tina's like, no, I don't think he would make that move yet. Like, we don't need to worry about it. I almost wonder if Tina, like, doesn't believe that herself, and, like, she would want Kyle to make a move like that to take out some of her allies that are pretty big threats. I don't know, but maybe she's not at that point yet. I don't know. But Tina also lets Kiefer know she does not appreciate her vote being dictated to her. And Kiefer's like, well, it hasn't been set in stone yet. Like, we're just talking about it. So, yeah. Alright, so then there were a few more repetitive combos like that last night about the same thing, same points being made. And lots of non-game chit-chat, people hanging out in the hot tub. And also, this is fun, Kyle and Jed tossed Rohan into the ball pit for his birthday. Happy birthday! First they swung him back and forth 27 times. I did not think that they were going to make it to 27 because it was looking rough after just a few. But they did, and it was a lot of fun. Okay, so this morning, seems like that vote flip is dead. At least for now. Beth and Jed were talking outside, and again, they're both part of that Sunsetters Alliance. They don't want to do anything crazy this week. Jed does not like that Josh has thrown his name out. I mean, week 1, he was talking about that whole Pretty Boys 2.0 thing, and apparently he also dropped Jed's name as a potential replacement nominee. So Jed was not happy about that. So yeah, they're thinking, you know what, let's just not take the risk. Let's just get rid of Josh this week. So then the feeds went down for the power veto ceremony. And Kiefer, as expected, used the veto on himself, and Austin nominated Rohan in his place. Happy birthday, you're on the block. That sucks, but anyway. That means that we've got Rohan versus Josh up on the block. So after the ceremony, Rohan and Kyle are talking some strategy in the bathroom. Rohan's got some plans, y'all. He's got some plans. So Rohan feels like LaToya is playing both sides. He feels like no matter who wins HOH, she could be safe because it seems like she's pretty good with everybody. Yeah, for the most part. So then they discuss what they would do if one of them were to win the next HOH. So Rohan says if he wins, he's pretty sure he'd be choosing between Beth, Ty, and Jed. Oh my god. So that little, like, flirt triangle, oh snap. He says he wouldn't really want to put up Ty. He wouldn't want to do that to him, so it would probably be Beth and Jed. He says that group, that trio, they're athletic, they're sociable, and it would be a big move, but he says that they should take the opportunity if they get it. And Kyle's just like, oh my god, man, oh my god. So we've seen that Kyle has told these other, like, athletic guys, you know, we shouldn't all go after each other, but I wonder how he would feel about Rohan doing that. So, Rohan thinks that they could possibly work with Austin and Breeden. Before, he was talking about potentially targeting them if he won HOH, but now he's thinking, no, we can work with them, we can get something going, so he's not gonna mess with them. And Rohan says, again, Ty and Jed are kind of, like, fighting over Beth right now. And he says Jed seems to be an emotional player. He will blow up in certain situations, so that's something that they're going to use to their advantage. Oh, snap. Okay, so then a little later, Victoria finally got her one-on-one chat with LaToya, and she reiterated to LaToya that she wants to work with her, Jed, and Ty, and she says, I'll never come after you. Which is interesting because I've heard her say to other people that she would potentially target LaToya. So I'm not really sure, like, what her real intentions are. We need some Victoria diary rooms. I need some more information there. But Victoria says that Tara would be her target because she annoys her. She says, Tara cuts me off all the time, and monopolizes a lot of conversations. I love Victoria, but I feel like you need better reasons than that. Also, she would consider putting up Brayden because he is huge social competition for her. You know, they're both very social people. Is this for real, though? Because I thought they were close. I thought Victoria was close to Austin and Brayden, but what? Like, I don't know. I can't tell if she's being straight up with LaToya or she's just trying to throw her off or what. But LaToya says, you're also not on my radar. I wouldn't put you up if I won HOH. And she says, I think we can work together to get far in this game. And she tells Victoria, whatever you tell me, I will never repeat it to anyone else. I don't know about that, because I could definitely see LaToya bringing any information she gets from Victoria back to the Sunsetters. But they talk about how they want the women to do well this season. They've gotten off to a great start so far, like competition-wise and everything. So yeah, that's great for International Women's Day, right? So then LaToya asks, what do you think about Kyle? She's trying to get some people thinking about Kyle now because she's worried about him. And she says Kyle is always observing and he listens, but he doesn't really talk. He doesn't give anybody any information. So she's got no idea where his head is at. And LaToya is worried if he were to win HOH, he would put up 2 girls and try and like pit them all against each other. So I wanted to hear more about this, but the feeds cut and then we didn't get to hear the rest of that conversation, unfortunately. But moving on, Victoria made some sort of like a cookie cake for Rohan for his birthday, and everybody was enjoying that. And then we get some more Josh time. Josh was alone in the Defender bedroom, and we got some insight into his campaign plans when he was talking to the camera. So Josh is planning on waiting until later in the week to really start campaigning, which I think is a good move because right now everybody's just like, he's got to go. So I think you want to wait a bit so it's got a little more impact, you know? It's too early. Things could flip-flop like a million times in a week. But Josh says some things he's going to be pushing with people are, no one's really working with him. He's got no alliances, whereas Ro has stuff going on with a bunch of people. So, like, who would you rather keep around? He's also gonna let people know that Ro wants to backdoor Jed. I don't know if it's necessarily that he wants to backdoor him, but we've heard from Ro that he is considering targeting Jed. He's also gonna call out Austin on her involvement in the Day 3 scandal. So we obviously didn't get to see that because the feeds were not on yet. Hopefully we'll see that in a flashback or something, because apparently there was a lot going on Day 3, and it involved Josh, and I guess that's why a lot of people are not digging him at this point. I don't know. But he's also going to plant seeds that Austin will be his target if he were to win HOH. But he's also going to tell people, I will vote however you want if I stay and I don't win HOH. So I just got to say, if Josh is able to stick around and he wins HOH, it would just be so much fun, because I would love to see these people who have been treating him like crap try and like kiss his butt. It would be hilarious. Also, there was another slip up today which was very hard to watch. Josh was, I think it was like in the kitchen. I can't remember where exactly it was. Maybe I just made that part up. But Josh was around a bunch of people and they were talking about Rohan's birthday. And Victoria said something about Rohan only being the pawn this week. And Josh was just like, and everyone was like, and then Victoria was like, well, that's like what was said, right? It was brutal. It was really bad. So that's where we're at. You know, we've got 3 days left until the eviction. Anything could happen at this point. So let me know what you guys think about all this. Would you rather see Josh or Rohan go? Leave it in the comments. And until tomorrow, much love.